Here's all you need to know this week in Pokémon GO. Tapu, Koko, and Mega Swampert will continue in raids until 10 AM on Saturday, when Heatran will begin appearing in 5-star legendary raids, and Mega Pinsir will take over in 4-star mega raids. Heatran will not come with its featured attack, Magma Storm. That said, it's still a useful Pokemon to have on hand, because its dual typing of Fire and Steel has many resistances. Mega Pinsir is a top Bug type, though Bug is not the most useful type against most raid bosses. As always, it's worth gathering enough Mega Energy for its first Mega Evolution at the very least. Raids will next change on Monday, March 31st. The Festival of Colors event will continue from last week until 8 PM on Monday. Be sure to claim the rewards from the timed research before they expire at the end of the event. Chansey will feature in the Max Monday hour from 6 to 7 PM, with Scorbunny, Machop, and Phalanx being available along with Chansey for the entire week. Chansey and Blissey are new additions to the Max system and will likely come in handy in the role of tank and healer. On Tuesday at 1 PM Pacific time, the active Go Battle Leagues will become the Open Master League and the Scroll Cup Great League Edition. You can check the GBL schedule in-game to see what's coming up and for when the leagues change in your local time zone. The weekly Spotlight Hour runs from 6 to 7 PM on Tuesday and will feature Shellder. For 1 hour, it will be everywhere in the wild at a boosted spawn rate, and the active bonus will be 2 times Catch Stardust. Cloyster is not worth investing in, but Shellder is a Stardust boosted Pokemon with a base Catch Stardust of 1000. With the bonus of 2 times Catch Stardust, even if you don't use a Star Piece, this hour is well worth your time and Pokeballs. That said, it is worth using a Star Piece or 2 if you have them. Be sure to Mega Evolve a Water type for extra catch candy. PokeStop Showcases will end on Tuesday and Sunday at 8 PM, likely featuring event-themed Pokemon. Enter them for easy Stardust and XP, and you could win premium items. Beginning on Wednesday at 10 AM, the Deep Depths event runs until next Monday and will introduce the Galar Pokemon Nickit and its evolution Thievul to Pokemon GO. Clauncher will feature in the wild and in 7-kilometer eggs at a boosted shiny rate, along with other event wild spawns and Pokemon in 7-kilometer eggs. The bonus of 1/2 egg hatch distance will also be active. There will be a free timed research as well as a $2 paid timed research. The weekly raid hour runs from 6 to 7 PM on Wednesday and will feature Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko will come with its featured attack Nature's Madness, and any 5-star raid boss caught during the raid hour will award a Rare Candy XL. An instant raid will appear on most gyms if there are players nearby with the game open. The raid will last 25 minutes, then there will be a 5-minute break before the next 25-minute raid will appear. Weekends in March feature Shadow Regice in 5-star Shadow raids, which are in-person only and do have the chance to be shiny. On Saturday from 2 until 5 PM, Totodile will feature in a Community Day Classic. Classic Community Days bring back a Pokemon previously featured with fewer bonuses. The bonuses active from 2 to 5 PM will include boosted spawn and shiny rates, 1/4 egg hatch distance, 3-hour lures and incense, and 5 snapshot encounters. You'll then have a full week to evolve any Croconaw into a Feraligatr that knows Hydro Cannon. A timed research will be active for the following week that will award 1 Totodile with the Might and Mastery special background at the same boosted shiny chance as the Community Day itself. A $2 paid special research will get you a premium battle pass, a Rare Candy XL, 3 encounters with special background Totodile, and some additional encounters and items. And as always, there will be bundles in the shop where you can get elite TMs. If you're in need of strong water types to use in raids, Feraligatr with Hydro Cannon is a decent choice, and you can easily build a couple with the candy you get from the Community Day. Feraligatr is also highly ranked in both the Great and Ultra Leagues. Be sure to Mega Evolve a Water type for extra catch candy. On Sunday from 2 to 5 PM, Mega Absol will feature in a Mega Raid Day. Similar to a raid hour, instant raids will appear at most gyms every 30 minutes. You can get 5 additional free raid passes by spinning gyms, but you can only hold 1 at a time, so you'll need to do in-person raids during the event to make use of these. The shiny rate for Absol will be boosted to 1 in 10, and the remote raid limit will be increased to 20 per day from Saturday at 5 PM to Sunday at 8 PM Pacific Daylight Time. There will be a free timed research awarding additional Stardust, and there will be the typical paid event ticket, which will get you 8 additional orange raid passes, plus the rewards for completing raids will be upgraded with an increased chance for Rare Candy XL, 50% more XP, and 2 times Stardust. Absol will be getting access to Brutal Swings starting with this event, which will not require an Elite TM to game, and if you don't have any of the other Dark-type Megas, this will be a good Pokemon to have on hand. The items and Stardust you get from completing Mega Raids are also handy, so even if you don't care for Absol or the Mega Energy, it's worth using the free raid passes if you can. It's even possible to complete Mega Absol raids solo if you have strong enough counters. The weekend PokeStop Showcase will end at 8 PM on Sunday, while the Deep Depths event will continue until 8 PM on Monday, March 24th. The seasonal bonuses for Might and Mastery will be active until June 3rd. And that's it for the week ending Sunday, March 23rd, 2025. Check the description below for links to download this calendar in full quality. For overtime this week, I thought I'd give my thoughts on the sale of Pokemon GO from Niantic to Scopely and my general opinions regarding mobile gaming. I'm going to assume this isn't the first you're hearing about the sale, but the gist is that Niantic is mostly moving away from gaming content to have more more of a focus on their AI spatial mapping business, which is really what they've always been about. Scopely, on the other hand, is focused on mobile phone video games. Pokémon GO is the only game I've ever cared to play on my phone, and it's 100% because it's Pokémon. I've been a fan of the franchise since 1998, and if GO existed back then, it would have consumed my life. But I actually really don't like gaming on my phone. I definitely prefer using a controller over a touchscreen, but what I really dislike is the business model that has been established in the mobile games industry. I could go on a long tangent about how that business model has made its way back into console gaming, but the key difference is that most phone games don't even bother trying to have a monetization strategy that is anything other than just a never-ending series of microtransactions. Most people don't want to buy full-price games on their phones, so I get it. With an ongoing live service game like Pokémon GO, it's expected that new content will continue to release, and I don't expect that to be free, but where I take issue is with the constant tension between having fun with the game and being asked to spend money. If it was a subscription model, similar to games like World of Warcraft, I'd actually have less of an issue with it if the price was right, but the content of Pokémon GO honestly just isn't substantial enough, and they'd need to change a lot of the progression mechanics to make that work. It's a collection game, and really just a simplified version of the mainline series. The only two reasons to spend money in GO are to progress your collection faster or to quickly farm up resources. Needing to constantly defend my wallet against the urge to do another raid or max battle is exhausting, so for me I had to put hard limits on my spending and haven't bought Pokecoins since I first started playing the game. I'll buy the occasional community day or raid day ticket, and I'll get the tickets for the major events like GoFest, but that's it. I don't mind spending around the equivalent of a regular priced console game each year on Pokémon GO, since I do enjoy playing it. The result for me though is that I have very few level 50 legendary Pokemon. When it comes to raiding, I only use my free daily raid pass under most circumstances. So if, under Scopely, they're encouraged to change something fundamental about progressing your collection or powering up your Pokemon, that's where the game will get into trouble from my perspective. I haven't played any of Scopely's other games, but by what you can read from those that do, it sounds like Scopely generally monetizes quite aggressively, with the phrase pay to win thrown around a lot. Thankfully, winning in Pokémon GO outside of PvP is really up to you. Winning can mean whatever you want for your collection. If winning means completing the shiny decks or hundo decks, well yeah, you're probably going to need to pay for that to have any hope of achieving that goal. If you're into PvP, the game has teetered on the edge of pay to win for a long time. It could always get worse when new, meta-relevant Pokemon get locked behind paywalls to obtain and more paywalls to power up, but that's kind of already regularly the case. Don't even get me started on the racket that is legacy moves. I think if your main motivation for playing GO is PvP, you may have something to worry about. If your main motivation is to have a collection of rare and powerful Pokemon, you're likely already no stranger to spending money on this game. But if your main motivation is to catch some Pokemon and hang out with your community, I doubt much will change. If you just want to level up your trainer to 50 and work towards some platinum medals, again, you probably don't have much to worry about. Sunk cost is a really difficult thing to manage. I struggle with it constantly when playing Pokémon GO. The goals I set for myself are always expanding as I accidentally complete more of different types of collections. I started with the goal of just catching the first 151 Pokemon, and I figured I'd honestly stop playing the game after that. Now I'm having to tell myself I don't need to get a shiny Raikou in Dynamax form just because I happen to get all 3 Kanto birds as shiny Dynamax. I didn't set the goal to get the shiny birds, I just got lucky, and suddenly I have a new collection standard. So if you're able to let go of certain goals and abandon some of the things that motivate you, you'll be insulated from the worst changes that could be coming to the game. All that said though, the game could get better. A lot of people would consider it a positive change if the remote raid limit was removed and the price was lowered to be in line with in-person raids. Some would consider it better if max battles could be done remotely, and actually it's kind of looking like that may be the case soon. I think those changes would strengthen the online communities, but they would also weaken in-person communities. So it's going to depend on what the vision for the game becomes. With Niantic out of the picture, location and AR data may no longer be a priority, but we also need to consider what the developers and the Pokemon Company itself envision for the game. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company regularly put restrictions in their games to get players to play in their idealized way. If they want Pokemon GO to be a game where you need to meet up in person to achieve certain goals, then that's the way it's going going to be, even if they could make more money doing things a different way. Ultimately, I think it's kind of impossible to predict what the game will look like and how it will function in the future, but because the dev team and leadership is staying as is, at least for now, I don't expect any drastic or sudden changes in the near term. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company maintain tight control of their IP. I'm sure they have veto power when it comes to literally any decision for Pokemon Go, and I wouldn't be surprised if any and every change has to go through them first. So for now, I'd say we can all relax. If you're having fun with the game, don't worry about it. Just do yourself a favor and keep your expectations in check. See you next week.